Gormagascom Corla, Gormagas and Cash, Chakta, Burton. The permanent project for the school referred to by the Deputy is being delivered under my department's design and build programme. Key factors that can impact on the timeline for any new school project are the availability of a site and the planning permission process for the new school building. A site was identified and will be available for this new school. This has enabled the design process for the new school building to be undertaken. Pre-planning meetings have been held with the local authority. The local authority has requested a further meeting to review the proposed drawings prior to submission of the planning application. This meeting took place yesterday, November the 18th, and it is envisaged that a planning application will be submitted shortly. The planning permission process will be a key factor for determining the timeline for the delivery of this project. My department's officials have kept the school authority fully briefed in relation to this project and the anticipated delivery timelines in respect of same. Along with the Taoiseach, my department is working to have the first phase of the school's permanent accommodation handed over by September of 2021, with phase 2 to follow in a matter of months. The delivery date of September 2021 for phase 1 is dependent on no delays arising during the planning permission processes.
That at the recent opening evening for people interested in having their children attend the school, that over 500 people were in attendance, and that the school now has 230 applications for 2021. I don't know if you're aware of the existing site of the school. I'm sure the school community would welcome you to visit it, Minister, if you're going that way out the Navan Road. But essentially the school is not going to be able to accommodate those children with the delay of a year unless the school is really facilitated by your department in relation to having further temporary accommodation on the temporary site. The school has been established as a very successful school. It's a very good school community of parents, of teachers and of students. But we are experiencing a massive population increase in relation to children of secondary school going age, and also in relation to children of primary school going age, so that we have a real crisis on our hands in Dublin 15 in relation to the number of school places available. So can I ask you, would you confirm that the temporary accommodation will be provided by your department?
Yeah, look, in the middle of a process to get to September 2021, whatever availability, whatever demand there is, we have an obligation to do that, and we do that. But can I just say, and being around different parts of the more pressured areas, and I was in Lucan yesterday, and I know there's a question down about North Kildare here today as well. There are enormous pressures coming on. There's new planning permissions coming on stream. There's more demand for places, and the best approach to all of this is to ensure that we get things right as well, to make sure we're in the right place, to make sure we identify where the demands are. But in respect to a project like this, a very, very important project, the planning permission will determine the time frame, and that is something that unfortunately I don't have any control over, but I can assure the Deputy that once we get through this process and get through the planning process, nothing will be left behind in relation to the sense of urgency around this.
Can I just say that there is extraordinary population pressure. The government did refer in the recent budget to demographic factors underlying significant parts of the budget for 2020. This school is an example. I asked you earlier as well, Minister, about these maps of school planning areas, which frankly very few people from the area, including myself, can actually understand. There are area names on that I don't associate in any way, and I see Deputy Durkin nodding his head, with the actual areas so designated on the maps. They're different places to the places I know. But can I just say to you, developers who are selling homes are pointing across the road and saying, now your school will be there and you'll be able to enrol your junior child or your secondary school child in it. That is not true. We need to get particularly the temporary facilities as quickly as possible, because this will be a fine 1,000 pupil school, but only if the department facilitates the buildings.
Last come Corley, but one of the things that I do want to add is we have a very, very dedicated team in the forward planning section in Tullamore, and they take into consideration existing pressures, existing levels of demand and future planning permission. So they work really, really closely with the different local authorities. That relationship is key, because the forward planning and making progress to ensure we meet the demand in the future is really, really important. This is a school which is important for the area, and it's important to get it right. And through the planning process, hopefully there'll be no delays, that we get out the other end and to meet the timeline that's there.
The next is